welcome to Crafting with Crystal. Today I'm going to show you how to make octagon shaped gift box. It is wonderful. It's really good size. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Let's make it.
Hi guys! So these are the colors that we're using to make our octagon gift box. This project was inspired by Couleur Papier. I hope I pronounce it right. So let's get started. We're going to start with 4 pieces of paper, and this is for your base box and your cover. In order to get the octagon shape, we're going to score these pieces and stick them together, and I'll show you how to do it every step of the way. To enclose our boxes, I have created a couple octagon shapes that you could download and print to help you cut your octagons. If you do have octagon die cuts, then your life has just been made a whole lot easier. But if you don't have die cuts, like I don't, you can use these. So I'm going to bring in my score pile, and I am going to score my piece of paper that is 4 inches by 8.5 inches, and you need 2 of these at 2, 4, 6, and 8. And then you're gonna turn it to the 4 side and score it at 1 and 3.5. And you're scoring both of these the same. Now for the cover of your box, I'm going to just rest this over here. For the cover of my box, I'm going to score both pieces, which are 8 3/4 by 2 inches. So you're scoring this. We need this score at 2 1/16, but there's no 1/16 score here, right? There's only 2 1/8. So follow along with me. I'm going to score this at the second score line first, which is 4 1/8. Then I'm going to jump to the 4th score line, which is 8 1/4. And then I'm going to shift my paper to the middle. So instead of putting it at 1/4, I'm going to put it right at the middle here. And then I'm going to score at 2 1/8, but it's really 2 1/16, and I'll show you the measurement after. And then this will be 6 3/16 here. Let me show you how. So you see how this is. If I measure it up now, it's at 2 1/16, and this is at 6 3/16. So 16, this is 1/16, 2/16, 3/16. So it's now scored properly. Then turn it on 2 sides and score it 1/2 inch and 1.5 inches. And you're scoring these two the same way. So I have all my bases scored, and I'm going to put them aside. And let's make our octagons so that we have everything, and it's just to put it together after. In order to make your octagons, you're going to print 1 copy of this 3-sheet Google document. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my octagons together. So I need 2 of these, I need 2 of these, and I need 1 each of these. So I have my template cut out. So it says on the template, of course, that this is for the cover of the box, so I need 2 of these. And I'm going to stick it on my piece of paper like this. And I'm going to put these 2 pieces of paper together, and I'm going to cut it out so that I get the exact size. Alright, so now I have 2 perfect octagons, and this is for the cover of my box. And now I'm going to do the same thing I did with this to these. So you have a 2-4 cover, 2-4 box, and now I'm going to cut out the other 2. Our middle layer is going to be in dark purple, so I'm going to line this up with this one. And our top layer is actually designer series paper, so I'm going to line up this one. I'm going to try to find where I have a nice pattern on it, and I'm going to line it up here with it. I'm going to hold on to these so that when I want to make another box, I have my template all set and ready for me to either trace or just stick on and make another box. Now I'm going to cut the layers for your box. Now the layers for this box is going to come in both deep purple, and then there's a designer series paper layer just to match back with everything here. So I just cut 8 pieces each of 1 7/8 by 2 3/8 and 7/8 by 1 7/8. So it'll be the same width, and just the length will be one for the box and one for the cover. So because my paper had a directional pattern, I tried my best to make it so that the direction of the pattern flows throughout the box. So I'm going to keep this on this, and then I'm going to add my layers to it in this exact order in order to add it to my box. So I'm going to put this aside. So let's build our box. I'm going to fold and burnish in all my score lines. So I've folded and burnished on all my score lines, and now we're going to make some slits in our paper. I'm going to cut on the 1-inch side. We're cutting all of these up to the top, like so. And this is for the box, not the cover. And you're going to make a little cut like this. And for the top part now that you're going to just fold over, you're going to make a little cut like this. And all of these you're going to cut with a little space, like so. So it looks like this. And you'll do the same thing to the other one, so it looks like this. Put these aside, and you're doing the same thing to this one, but pay attention that it's like this, where this piece is on the end, and the pieces that you make the V is on the same size as the piece that you make the V on this one. So I will put this one like this, because these have to stick together, and then I'll make sure the end of this one is the same short 1/2-inch piece. And then I will cut this one up straight on all these sides without making the small V cut. Right, straight, and then like this. And I'll do the same thing on this side. Right, and then I'll turn both of them over. And then I will make the V cut on these. So these are both stuck in the same way, with just a straight cut at the top here and the V cuts at the bottom. Let's go ahead and start sticking this together. So I'm going to put some glue at the end here. And I'm going to stick this onto here like so. So you're sticking this part onto the top like so, making sure that you don't cross that score line and that all of these score lines are coming equally. Then I'm going to turn this over, and I'm going to fold this like so. Make sure that these are lined up properly. Put glue all over this piece. That's just the tab to close it, so you have 8 pieces, and close this one like so. It should look like this, and you're going to do the same thing to these 2 pieces. Right, so remember we cut the top and left this piece here. I'm going to fold over. Turn over. Make sure it's equal. Put some glue in here. Take this one and just fold it inside. It's perfect. So you have your box, your cover, and we have all our octagons. So I'm going to show you how to build this to make it a perfect octagon shape using your score pile. All right, so you're going to fold all of these in like so. Until your box looks like this. And to get your octagon shape, what we're going to do, we're lining up this at the corner of the box like so. So if you look at where these are stopping, you will see that if you line this up, making sure this piece is straight here and this piece is straight on this. So you're lining this up at the 1 3/8 mark, which is right here. It's right here, right? So you're making sure the seam or the score line is at the 1 3/8 mark here, pushing this side up to the top of your scoreboard, and then making sure, even double checking by measuring it with a ruler, that's exactly 1 3/8. So that's it. So now what you're going to do, now that you have the 1 3/8, you're going to hold it down, raise this one, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some glue just on the corner here. See where I put that glue? And in the corner here. And I'm going to stick this down. Remember that measurement is 1 3/8. And now all you have to do is make sure that this is now touching your 1 3/8 mark. So you're going to move on the other side now. Put this hole at 1 3/8. Make sure it's stuck all the way to the top. And then you're going to keep turning and sticking down like that. You have one more, so this one should automatically go to 1 3/8 on both sides, and that's happening. So that is perfect. Now lift up, put your dot of glue, make sure everything is pushing to the top there, and go down. And now you have a perfect octagon. Right, so now we're going to do the cover of your box. You're going to do the same thing on the parts that you didn't make the V. That's the parts that you're folding down here, so that you have a bigger space to stick them down. All right, you're going to put it here and you're going to line it up at the corner. This one, it's just past 1 3/8, and then you're going to measure and make sure. Right, this one needs to adjust a little bit. Just push it down a little bit, right? So it's 1 and 1 point under 1.5. That's perfect. You're gonna move this, lift this up, and stick that down. Perfect. And you're going to keep turning and sticking just like last time. So we're finished with this, and we've got it all stuck down. We're going to stick down all of these extras here. So you're going to take the glue and you're going to put here like this on all of these tabs and fold them down. Right, that makes you that gets your really perfect edge, and you keep doing this. That's your cover. And let's just do that same thing to the box itself. And now it's time for the test. So you have this box and this cover. Now we're going to make sure the cover fits the box. Perfect size, right? There's a little play, but there's only a little play because you have to put layers on this box now for it to fit really perfectly. So you have your box. What we're going to do is we're going to first add the base to our box. These go together, the cover and these two, and then these two go together for the box. So I'm going to turn my box over, and you're going to stick this at the bottom of this box like so. Perfect. Then stick it down, and then you're going to put glue all over this, right? So we're going to take this and we're going to stick it on the inside of our perfect octagonal box. And look at that. That looks so nice and finished. So let's deal with the top of our box now. So the top of our box, this is the cover, and we're going to add these like so to the top here. Right. We're going to stick this down. Then we're going to stick this centered on this one. Alright, we're going to take these two, and I'm going to show you what you're going to do with these. You're going to grab 3 circles from your scissors circles. I'm going to grab my very old Big Shot machine. Don't laugh at me, please. And I'm going to cut out these circles out of this. So pay attention to how I'm going to cut this out. Largest circle, which is 3 3/4, you're going to cut your acetate out of. So my acetate. The second largest circle, I'm going to cut this piece out here. Move this around a little bit. And now we're actually going to take this one. We're going to measure the big one on it, put this in the middle, center it, and then we could move this off, stick this down. And we're going to cut all these 3 pieces of paper. So we're going to run it through a Big Shot machine a couple times. We're going to make sure it cut through, and it did. Right, we have it cut through, perfect. So we're going to be using this, this, and this to design the top, and let me show you how. The first one you're going to stick is the one on the inside, and we're going to put glue all over just the edge of this, and we're going to stick this on the inside. It fits perfectly of our octagon. Look how neat that looks. Then we're going to turn it over, and then we're going to stick this like so on top of this. So we're just literally putting a tiny bit of glue around here, and we're sticking this like so. It's perfect. And then we're gonna stick this piece to close it all off. Look at that. So don't put glue too much on the inside because you don't want it to see through the acetate. So you're gonna put glue all over the outside. Make sure and put a lot because this is the closure of your box. Now we're gonna put it like this. Then turn it over and then really stick it down. You see no glue. It looks beautiful. Look at that. And now you have your box like this. And I'm going to put all the layers now. So I'm going to actually bring in my layers. And it's really easy. So you're putting one of this on one of these. And one of this on one of these, like so. And you're going to layer all of these just like this, and when you have them all layered, then you're going to take your box, take off the cover, you're going to put glue, and you're going to go around the box from the first one that you put on like this, and you're going to stick it all on like so. So it's all done. I like to add some shred since it looks so pretty inside. And then you put your little gift inside. Some really great options with this is that you could actually add sentiments just on the top like this. You could put things like happy birthday. Of course you do this in white. I just had these cut out already for another project. Baby right in the middle. It's just such great ideas. The person who actually designed this box put flowers up the both sides with leaves. It looked so brilliant, but you know, the options are endless with this gift box.
For joining me while we made this octagon shaped gift box. I've made it in blue, I've made it in purple, we're gonna make a pink next. I think I'm gonna give all my Easter gifts in this box because it's so gorgeous. If you like this video, be sure to give it an actual thumbs up, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any content, and stay crafty, my friends. It's cute, right? Oh my god, listen, so it takes a little while to make, but the results are so astonishing. Like, I want to give all my gifts in this now. We're going to do a hexagon next.